If you keep self-sabotaging and you know it, then it's time for you to dive deeper to the subconscious level and work on changing your automatic thoughts, which is what reprogramming is all about. By the end of this video, you will have the tools you need to become a different person. And through this healing journey, you will, inshallah, get the life you've always desired. Hi guys! Today's video is basically a little toolkit of all the methods to reprogram your mind and their effectiveness. And I will also share with y'all my own personal reprogramming routine. But before that, let's answer a few questions to clear up any confusions. So first things first, what is the subconscious mind? Well, you have to understand that there is a conscious mind that does all the complex thinking and rationalizing, but then there's an even more powerful side to our mind that is subconscious. And the reason it is so powerful is because this part makes up 95% of all our mind processes and is also responsible for our automatic thoughts and feelings. This is the part responsible for self-sabotage and is also the part of us that learns the rules of this world at a young age. Our minds are not like logical thinkers, they're more of emotional learners, okay? And these beliefs you have about yourself, people, and life are a product of emotional experiences that are stored subconsciously. Just like muscle memory, which isn't that your muscles actually store memories, right? But that this is such an automatic process that your conscious side doesn't have a say in it. Okay, so why would you want to reprogram your subconscious mind? Because the way you think changes the way you interact with the world, which in turn changes your reality. How come, you might ask? Well, simple. Life already has abundant resources. The reason why we don't get what we want is because we don't think subconsciously that we are ready or worthy of it. That's why we sabotage our successes. A very young part of us is scared of the happiness on the other side. That's why you gotta reprogram your subconscious mind to think positively of yourself and the opportunities that are present in your life. Before moving on to the reprogramming methods, I want to tell you that the most important thing for reprogramming your mind to work is consistency. You can't just do it a few times and notice a complete shift. You have to do it every day, and the changes will be incremental, but by the end of, let's say, 3 months or a year, you will see amazing changes. For me, one of the most amazing changes is that I'm more of a secure person, more in touch with my emotions, more loving, which would be very insane for past me to see how confident and peaceful and grateful I am, how much have my standards risen, and with it the quality of experiences I have, how now I'm okay with being on my own when I used to not be able to tolerate the idea of having no one to validate me, how fearless I am. So be patient and it will all come in due time. Also, I want to advise you to not make your everyday revolved around the reprogramming. Live your life, bestie, okay? Because day-to-day experiences are opportunities for learning. And with emotional learning comes the reprogramming. And the last expectation I want to set before we talk about the methods is that sometimes you just have to do it. You just have to do the thing. You can't hope to wake up randomly one day and be the best version of you who will act exactly in your best interest 100% of the time. On some days, things will be difficult, but you just gotta go for it, basically. Reprogramming is like supplements to your healing journey, but you have to take the active steps and be willing to go the extra mile for your goals. Just you showing up for yourself like that, even on the hard days, is worth more than all the reprogramming in the world. Okay, first thing we have journaling, and there's multiple ways to go about it. First, there is self-reflection journaling, which you can do when you wake up or before you sleep. In it, you write about your day, your thoughts, emotions, any ideas you got. Write until you feel like there's no more thoughts in your mind. And always go the extra mile. If you wanted to journal 1 page, journal 2. If you wanted to journal 3, do 4. I promise you, you will find so much insight when you continue because your deeper beliefs come up when you let all the day-to-day clutter out. That's why I think journaling is an excellent start if you're just beginning your journey. It is about noticing your thoughts, and making the unconscious conscious is like half of the inner work. I noticed that within myself when I did nothing else but journaled about my day for a few months. So yeah, I would consider it very effective. Second form of journaling is scripting or self-concept journaling, where you affirm to yourself the kind of life you want to have and the person you want to become. So let's say you're trying to reprogram your mind to love working out and becoming fit. You are gonna journal about your self-concept as someone who is consistent in the gym would. So let's say you could say, I'm always going to the gym and enjoying my workouts. They're so effortless and easy, and even though I feel sore after them, I feel so accomplished. I am proud of me for another successful workout. Script about your dream life like you already got it, and make sure to include feel words. Words that evoke emotions, because we are trying to get the emotional learning going. If you implement scripting to change your self concept, you might not see that much immediately, but after a while, your inner dialogue will become more positive. You'll start talking to yourself nicely. You will get better at just going for what you want, basically. This energy of calm confidence will wash all over you. Thirdly, we have gratitude, and yeah, I think we all know how important gratitude is. So I'll just explain to you how I combine gratitude with self-concept journaling. It is basically all about confusing your mind. I try to do both of them at the same time because scripting is basically gratitude for the future. So when you tie it in with gratitude for the present, your mind basically doesn't know which is real, which is not real, right? And for a lot of people, gratitude journaling on its own is very helpful, because a positive mind is a creative mind looking for solutions, and creativity is the driving force towards a better life. When you practice gratitude, you can be present and appreciative. That takes you out of survival mode into creator mode. You become more resilient against hardships, because you know that hardships come and go and that you will live to see the good times. And the great thing about self-concept journaling and gratitude journaling is you can always read them and refill yourself with positivity again. Lastly, there's shadow work, which is more intentional than self-reflection, as you try to ask the right questions to uncover the hidden and suppressed part of you. Basically, your shadow. And also to understand better how are you trying to protect yourself when you self-sabotage. I do have a limiting beliefs two-part series, which is very helpful if you need shadow work prompts to guide you on working through your limiting beliefs. So journaling is a really great technique if you love writing, just like me, but if you're more of a visual person, then these three techniques might be more appealing, because now we're moving on to visualizations. So first there's the mind movie, which is a technique I got from the Wizard List. Basically, you write down your desires, convert them to affirmations, record those affirmations with your voice, add pictures from Pinterest as visual cues, and then save it as a video. Watch it whenever you want to visualize your desired life. I created mine a few months ago, and I watch it from time to time. It can be helpful to listen to first thing in the morning as a motivational boost. For me, I do prefer squeezing my brain out to think positively through scripting and gratitude. Then there's the bulk of visualization. And this is very different from daydreaming because we are focused on a specific goal. Daydreams usually have all kind of plot points and emotional roller coasters, but when visualizing, you are trying to tap into a certain feeling or a specific experience. If you are trying to manifest a person, you'll focus on feeling loved and loving, peaceful, and whatever positive emotions you want to feel with the person. Not a three-act story with revenge and heartbreak and angst. If you were daydreaming, you'll also focus on how they feel, look, sound, smell, and engage your senses. And the visualization also ends intentionally, either when you feel like you fully tapped into that experience or when the timer you set has rang. Unlike daydreaming, which can feel endless sometimes, especially if you're a maladaptive daydreamer. Another cute form of visualization is mood boards or vision boards. I love me a good mood board. So basically, I get pictures from Pinterest and add them to a Canva document, save, and then set as a wallpaper. So whenever I open my laptop, I take a moment just to absorb what kind of person I want to become. what kind of mindset I want to adopt, and what kind of life I want to achieve for myself. And I do find it very helpful, especially if you add quotes. They can help you get on track or remind you of why you're still going. Next, we have meditations. And meditation is really helpful because it helps you notice your thoughts, it helps you calm your mind, and it helps you exercise self control. You gain more control over your thoughts, over your actions, and over your emotions when you meditate. Because basically, when you pay attention to how you're feeling inside, you develop the awareness to know when you're self sabotaging. When you procrastinate, ponder on why you're doing that. Are you overwhelmed, or stressed, or scared? And you are less likely to give in when you're exercising this beautiful form of internal awareness of your emotional world. There's also hypnosis or hypnotherapy, which is similar to meditation, but they're usually more relaxing and much longer as they contain more breathing and grounding exercises. Usually, they are more focused on getting you into this theta state, which is like the state between awakeness and sleep. It is the state when you're the most susceptible to positive suggestions, basically. So, you might hear some affirmations by the end of the hypnosis track, or be carried to visualize a specific scene to help you get in touch with something or some idea. Hypnosis is really effective. I tried them to help me refocus on long term goals, do inner child healing, and there was also that hypnosis track I tried to change my emotional default setting to peace, and I've never been the same since that one. I tried it twice, and for real, I do feel peaceful. Two of my favorite hypnotists are Suzanne Robichaud and Michael Seeley. So, for any type of issue you want to work on, search for a hypnosis or guided meditation track that can help you with it. Another form of reprogramming that I'm not 100% sure about its effectiveness, like the research is sparse, is subliminal messages. They are basically audio tracks that have hidden messages in them that you can't hear clearly or like at all. Basically, they're supposed to bypass the conscious mind straight into the subconscious. I can't tell you what good change was a result of me using subliminals and what wasn't, but they were the first form of subconscious reprogramming that I found, and yeah, my life started up leveling ever since. I mostly listen to the ones with no music or nature sounds while working on something else. I do like having background noise when working or studying either way. And another reprogramming method, which is about how you live your day to day life, is your media diet. So basically, whatever media you consume. It is very important to be intentional about what you feed your mind and to surround yourself with positive vibes and motivational vibes or whatever kind of vibes you want to go for because you are the product of your environment and your consumptions. So, for what I did is consume a lot of self improvement content. And I watched content by people who were just like me but made it. Stuff that inspired me, that fueled my sense of wonder, creativity, and curiosity. Content that made me happy, and content that kept me informed. I try not to scroll mindlessly, though I'm only human, but I do try to curate my feed as much as I can. Another thing I created were playlists on YouTube and Spotify titled Absorb, which are filled with the type of content I want to have as my internal dialogue. The kind of YouTubers or podcasters that I want to think, talk, and see the world like they do. I listen to them when doing mindless work, like chores or walking, basically. Like I said, repetition is key, so repeating audio over and over in your mind helps it stick. Don't underestimate the power of doing that. Really, our minds are just like sponges. We are more susceptible than we think. So feed your mind some good, healthy food. You will be thankful to yourself for that. That's basically how I learned English, right? Like through media consumption. So if you use a social media app a lot, consider creating a folder inside it for everything you want to see again to instill some motivation in you. And the next one, which is one of the most well-known reprogramming methods, is affirmations. And affirmations are basically statements you hear or say to yourself. They have multiple forms like I am and you are statements as well as questions. I could delve deeper into my opinion on how to create effective affirmations in another video if you want, guys. But let me tell you why affirmations are effective. Like I said, our minds learn through feeling, but they could also learn through repetition. That's why it is important to be consistent with this work you're doing. So, here are the 3 ways I implement affirmations. First, there is this affirmations app, which sends you lovely affirmations as notifications by the hour, and you can also set them as widgets. Highly recommend downloading it. Second, I use affirmations I create after working on my limiting beliefs to counteract those negative thoughts. Creating a new positive belief and implementing it is actually the last step of my limiting beliefs journaling guide. And they do really help. After a few days or weeks of just reading those affirmations, the words will start coming naturally to you. And language does have an influence on our thoughts, which influence our emotions, which also drive behavior. It's just like a positive feedback loop, basically. And thirdly, we got sleep affirmations, which is 8-hour long affirmations you listen to while sleeping. You can find a lot of them on YouTube. You can experiment with them. They aim to work directly with your subconscious mind during sleep. I heard a lot about negative symptoms, and I did have a few, like nightmares or waking up in cold sweat at night. But that's because your subconscious mind is having a hard time accepting those affirmations. So don't worry about these symptoms. Though, if they're really impacting your sleep, you can try to listen to them every once in a while or do some inner work to release any harbored negativity or triggers. Another good form of programming, if you're religious, is prayer. They're in the same realm as manifestations, detachment, and affirmations, since you are asking for something while also surrendering to God. And lastly, we have EFT tapping. And I will leave a video that demonstrates how it works. But basically, you are gonna tap on 9 places in your body: your hand, your face, and your chest, and also under your armpits. The goal is to essentially tap into your feelings and release them. So, first, you'll decide what you want to tap into. Let's say the feeling of stress. Then you have to rate how strong you feel the stress. It is good to rate before and after so you can develop some awareness and also see if tapping actually works. So then you will start tapping while repeating a statement that encompasses the feeling. For example, you could say, I am feeling stressed because I have a lot of work to do. And you repeat it over and over, tapping from one place to another. Then you rate how you feel after tapping. You can also repeat it again, but this time with some kind of bridging affirmation, like, even though I feel stressed about work, I know that I'm capable of handling it. And you go over the 9 tapping points again. You can continue to do this, rating how you feel and tapping with affirmations for however you like. Though I do advise you to not make your goal 100% eliminating the stress. We shouldn't go into these techniques expecting them to fix us immediately. And we should always be okay with experiencing unpleasant emotions from time to time. The change is going to be gradual, so don't put pressure on yourself to feel 100% good after these exercises. Just go do them because you know they're good for you. Okay, let me share with y'all my daily reprogramming routine, basically. When I wake up, I read my limiting beliefs related affirmation while doing my morning routine. So every time I take something off my morning routine to-do list, I'm exposed to it. Then I go for a mix of self-concept and gratitude journaling. Actually, I just did that now before working on this video, and let me tell you, I felt so happy, like I was on a different plane of existence. During the day, I try to do at least 10 minutes of just mindful meditations where I focus on my breathing, typically after classes, so I could relax and focus on this new phase of my day. I also do EFT tapping whenever I need it. I listen to subliminal messages whenever I feel like it in the day, especially if I'm doing work that doesn't require listening to anything. And I pay attention to my media diet, like what I'm reading, watching, or listening to, and also who I surround myself with and their ideas. And yeah, I pray throughout the day. At night, I read the same limiting belief affirmations while doing my night routine. Plus, I journal for self reflection so I could get out all the baggage from the day onto paper. Then I get to bed and listen to a hypnosis track, which, as soon as it finishes, transitions into a sleep affirmations track in my playlist. I have a sleep timer set for like 3 hours usually, because I find it much better for my sleeping to not listen to the affirmations the entire night. And every once in a while, I will create a new mood board and watch the mind movie. And whenever I feel ready, I will try to tackle some limiting beliefs and do shadow work. Okay, so now that you know exactly how reprogramming works, I have some homework for you. So there are two important things I want you to do. First, decide what mind reprogramming routine you want to implement. You can totally use mine if you want. Best times to implement these techniques are after you wake up and before you sleep, because if you remember, that's when we're in the theta state. Second, and this is very important because we are living in the age of information, is to pay close attention to the content you consume. Media literacy is very important, so try to look for people who motivate you, inspire you, educate you, familiarize you with the life you want to live. And for everything else that isn't serving you, delete, block, mute, mark as uninterested. Your mind is very valuable, so nourish it as the beautiful garden it is. And just saying, you can totally add my videos to your Absorb playlist, guys. I'm sure you will find them motivational and inspirational. And I want you all to believe that you can make it. I started this intentional reprogramming process only a few months ago, but I am seeing great changes and opportunities opening up for me and the potential I have. So, even though it is a slow process, it is also a very rewarding one. That's it for today. Thank you for your time and see you in another video, my loves. Bye bye.